So today I was just thinking, I just wanted to dissect a couple things and just what was on my mind. Um, so this morning, I went in, gave my wife some coffee before I headed to work, and I said, "Hey, today's already Wednesday," and and she said, "It's a neutral day, androgynous day." So it just kind of made me think a little bit because I think in days, I think how they talked about back in the old times. They were really, they relied on the sun, the moon, and the planets, and so days are referred to the planets and the sun and the moon. So today is Mercury. Um, Tomorrow is Jupiter. Friday is Venus. Saturday is Saturn. Sunday is Sol. Monday is Luna. Tuesday is Mars. And just, same thing. So I just started thinking about, I still have alchemy on my mind and the twin flames. And I think about the stage process on, so just bear with me because I'm just thinking this, and I was just trying to almost like putting a puzzle together for me, putting the pieces of the puzzle in, and I just started looking at alchemy, and so like I said, there's this stage process. I want to say I think it's the Greeks that say the three-stage process, and the Egyptians had something a little different, and it was like a four-stage process, I think. And I'm just kind of running it through. I don't know everything for sure about certain things, so I'm just kind of playing it in my head, and how they have how they say it's the negrito, which is the blackening, and they have albedo, which is the whitening, and rubedo, which is the reddening. And it kind of makes me think of, I'm just jumping ahead, like I said, I'm jumping around, but it reminds me of how they talk about the red king and white queen, the sun, the moon, and this offspring, rebus, and has, it's like half and half. It's male and female, and it just makes me think about a few different things. How they talk about, they say Hermes and Aphrodite created the sun, and they named it after them, Hermaphroditus. And it goes on and on. It's like there's so many male and female that created androgynous, this androgynous being, which was created male and female in between, and it just goes on and on. There's a lot of different things that they talk about, and I think in the Kabbalah I've read, that they have. The older name, that names have changed throughout time, and I think one of them was Arik Anpin and Nevuka. I could be pronouncing it wrong. I just don't know, but it's like that. It's like Shiva Shakti. Like I said, it's like Jesus Christ and Sophia. There's a lot of them. There's so many different ones, and they create, this androgynous. And I feel like, it's like same thing, Adam and Eve, and it's like, I feel like it's like, so let me get back to the alchemy in a way, in a sense. That's part of the alchemy. I feel like it's like learning about your inner self, and transforming yourself, and going through an emotional balance, transformation, and a wholeness, creating, two parts into one, and having this perfect balance between polarities. So I was thinking, like, the blackening. I feel like it's like a process that you go through. How they talk about, it's a process of getting rid of all the bad stuff, all the stuff that you created within your body throughout time, and to get to the true black, and the whitening, to get to that whitening process of being. And when I say whitening, I feel it's like clean, like a cleansing. I say like it's like spit shining, like Mr. Clean. It's like brightening. It's a brightening. And I know I talked about this last time about how I felt like, I had these ghosts that I saw, these that were my skeletons, and it just felt like when I landed, like I said, all my emotional pain and physical pain had left my body. And I feel that's what for me, it was like a light, like lightning, like it lightened up the load that I had been carrying for so long. And I was able to breathe like this fresh oxygen through my nervous system, through everything. It was like all this anger that I held for so long had created blockages in my organs and the nervous system, where it wasn't flowing very properly, and the anger created those blockages. It's like it wasn't filtering properly, and so I was manifesting this physical pain after so long. The emotional, it needed more. It already had taken my emotional pain, so where did it went? It went to my physical pain. It went to my went to like a hypochondriac in a way, in a sense. It was all this pain that I was receiving, and it was like I welcomed it in, and I played that daily for so long, to the point where I didn't even know, this is life, this is what it is, this is how I am, and it had blocked my vision, my feeling, my inside, internally. It masked it, it hid it, and when I had come back down, I felt like all those masks had been released, and I was able to see that light, that lightness. But yeah, it just kind of reminds me of alchemy and the cleansing process, and I was able to see that feminine side instead of being so having so much masculine, and I was able to see my other half in a way. They say the left side is the yin and the right side is the yang. You look at the healing light of the Tao. There's different channels, and then you have your center channel, your spine. And I feel like my spine was blocked for so long. I had a few surgeries, neck surgeries, a couple plates in my neck. It was like, I had bulging discs. I had, they had to go in and clean them up and everything, and put these plates in, fusions. most of my neck, and it was like I had, it was, my hands was aching. There was so much stuff going on, and it went to the point where at the very end, it got to my bones. My bones were aching so bad, but I would constantly complain, and I got to that point where it just manifested so much, and you know, like I said, I've said this before, got to the point where, you know, they diagnosed me with the fibromyalgia, unknown causes, you know, and it was like I created that, throughout holding all this anger and everything. So it was like like I said, a lot of dark stuff that I kept in, and just kind of, it was just not being myself. It was not being true to myself. It's the truth. It's truth is what you need to get to. What I feel is, it was, for me, it was truth. To know this is me, this is who I am, and if I have an issue with somebody, to get it out and say it in a polite way. You know, it's like without anger, you know, with no anger behind those words, because the words are very powerful, not just for them, it's for you too inside. It's very powerful within you. If you feel a different way, they're very potent. So it's like I kept everything in because I didn't know how to communicate, and I feel like that's kind of like where I get more, where it's masculine. You know how they say the positive, the masculine is active, and the feminine, the negative is positive. I think we all have those equal qualities within us, and we have to learn how to balance those. So we have, like I said, peace and harmony. We have peace and harmony within our body, and you know the difference between the polarities, and if you go to one way more than the other, it's going to have an effect, a cause and effect. It just it definitely felt like that. Like I was able to see the difference, between good and bad, or you know, whatever it was, and now I can see the consequences. If I do something, there's going to be consequences. It's gonna affect my body. It's gonna affect my karma. It's gonna affect all those things. So it's like I cautiously always check myself and think, and make sure that I'm choosing the right way, you know, the middle path in a way, and the good. But it's like, you know, they talk about and bouncing around, you know, how the Egyptians, they say it's I think it's I'm not exactly sure how they word it, but instead of using the red, they substitute it for the violet, the purple, and a yellowing too as well. So they use 4. But I just feel like that alchemy was to learn balance and heal your body, regenerate your body, through meditations, peacefulness, all those things. It's like we're this living organism. We're like plants. It's like you know, you till the soil, you plant the seed, you know, it's in germination period, and it sprouts into a beautiful little butterfly. I say that all the time with my wife, and she laughs, but it's funny. It's like, you know, it's like this beautiful thing. Yeah, so I was just thinking about that about today. Just had a little thought, and and how they talk about that process, that transformation. And I just feel like that's what I needed to learn. I needed to learn that it was like my body just went on autopilot. I needed to be very patient though, because it's like always want, give, or take. It's never give. It was always wanting, and I was never patient enough. And it's like patience is a big thing, and you don't always have to understand everything and take everything so literal. It's being very patient. um, being very patient. It's like knowing that we have that good in us. It was knowing that I had that good in me, and it was always there. And once I shifted, it was like my body went on automatic pilot. It was like I didn't need instructions. I didn't need a manual. It just automatically went to what I needed to survive. It's like having that soul and spirit connection. How Jesus says the kingdom of God is within you, and it's like we are the temples, we are that church. It's within us, that unity, that wholeness, with the all, with the one. Yeah. Um, so, um, anyways, I know I have a lot more to say, but I just like to keep it a little shorter tonight, and yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.